Right, well, here we are once again on the bank down here at Clavering Lakes in Saffron Walden in Essex. Never been here before, down here for a little social with my mate Russell. If you've seen him in my videos before, you might recognise him from the trip we done out at Darrow Farm a year and a half ago. We have done another one since then. We went down to Oxford to Orchard, done 3 nights down there. It was a blank, so our succession rate on trips together is not great. He had the one fish at Darrow, both blanked at Orchard, so fingers crossed we can get more than that here today. Well, I say today, we've got 3 nights, 72 hours to try and make it happen. To be fair, I'd just quite like to catch one because I think it's definitely my turn to at least have one. So yeah, down here at Clavering, 4 different lakes. We're going to be tackling this bad boy, the Specimen Lake. Never been here before, not really heard much about it. It was Russell's choice, so here we are. We've had a good look round, lovely little lake. Chatted to the owner, done a lot of work on it in the winter, netted it and took all the fish under 20 pounds out and put everything else back in again. So he said there's 57 fish that they know of that went back in, plus whatever was obviously missed by the nets because you're never going to get any. So fingers crossed if we can get a run or two, they should be a decent size. And from some of the photos I've seen, they were absolute scaly bangers. Hate to use those sort of hit words everybody else does, but there you go. But that's that really. 72 hours ahead of us. Let's get the barrel loaded, wait for Russell to get here, get round, get some swims. Fingers crossed. Right, well, here we are then. We're in some swims, we're finally set up, and I've got to say, this is a beautiful little complex of lakes. Never been here before, to be fair, until my mate mentioned it. I'd never even heard of the place, so yeah, really, really nice. There's sort of 4 lakes on site, I think. We're fishing the Specimen Lake, got the Carp Lake next door, and then there's a Predator Lake and a Match Lake. From what I gather, over the last couple of years, the guys here have done a lot of work on the Specimen Lake, especially removing a lot of the smaller fish, a lot of the doubles out, moving them into the Carp Lake and moving some of the bigger fish from Carp Lake into this lake. Led to believe there's about 65 fish in here maybe, up to mid-30s, and to be fair, some of the photos I've seen of those fish, there are some absolute bangers in here. So yeah, if we can bank even one 30-pounder or something, that'd be absolutely game on. Chosen swim 3, my mate's gone in swim 2, got here, had a quick, not quick, but we had a good couple of 3 laps of the lake, found some fish down here in this is the deeper end of the lake, pegs 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and then it sort of shallows up a little bit down the far end. There is a guy already down there in the far end anyway, so we didn't want to be too close to him, but on the walk round we did see a couple of fish just break surface and sort of roll, and a couple of little fizzes, so yeah, really good signs. Let my mate have the choice to swim first because this was, he picked this venue, and it was him that sort of suggested this trip, so gave him the benefit of the doubt. And we've already seen 2 fish roll over his left-hand rod on the left-hand margin, so yeah, really, really hope for a few fish. To be fair, we kind of are on the back of the wind up where we are, as sort of easterly winds coming in the whole 3 days that we're going to be here, so it seemed a good option. And to be fair, like I say, we saw some fish on the way round, so started off nice and easy, just 2 solid bags out. I'm going to just keep moving them around for the course of today just to see if we can pick anything off nice and early, and then I'll sort of step my stall out later tonight for the evening, well, for the night. So yeah, just 2 solid bags, 1 just fishing the far margin, and 1 sort of out just halfway across. It's not a big lake, far margin's only about 14.5 wraps, and my right hand rod I've pulled back a bit and I've just sort of gone 10 wraps and a little bit further to the right, just in case there's anything cruising around mid-water. See if we can pick 1 or 2 off really. Yeah, so apart from that, nothing much to report, but we're here, we're set up, we're very hopeful, and we've seen a few fish, so fingers crossed might be able to be in for a few. Catch you in a bit. Right, well, we're off the mark. It's early in the morning. I say early, it's about 7 o'clock now. We got up nice and early, about 6 o'clock, watching the water. Saw a couple of fish show over my right hand rod that's out in the middle of the lake, and over Russell's on the left hand margin where they were shown all day yesterday. No action during the night, and as we stood here talking, having our first cup of tea of the day, my rod to the far margins, lifted up tight, dropped all the way to the bottom, and we're into a fish. And it's an absolute cracker. Beautiful scaly fish. Probably one of the newer stockies that's been put in the last year or two. Hopefully you can hear me over those plains. We are near Stansted Fly past. I'm going to give it a second to go past. But yeah, we think it was a fish. Looking at photos online, looks like it's a fish that stocked at low 20. Here she is at £25 and 1 ounce. Beautiful fish. Look at her. Look at that. Absolute beautiful fish. Hey, £25, about 1 or 2 ounces, but I'm not too worried about the ounces right now. Absolutely beautiful. Caught on a fluoro D rig, on a little wafter, underneath an overhanging tree. I've been going round, casting to the far margin, going round with the bait and spoon and just carefully placing it under there. Been out for a while. This rod's been out since about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, so the bite has taken a while, but I was saying to Russell last night, I think it'll be early, first light this morning, that potentially our margin rods might go off. And lo and behold, I've been proven right. Yeah, I'll whip her up and show you the other side. There you go. Look at that. What an absolutely beautiful fish. And what a cracking way to start our session. Less than 24 hours in, and we've already got a mid-20. I am absolutely made up with that. So let's slip her back and see if we can get a few more. Right mate, well, 24 hours in, just over. Just the one fish to show for our efforts so far. What are you thinking?
Frustration. Fish boshing on my spots, both rods. Yesterday, left rod all day. Today, the right rod. But can't seem to hook one.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, isn't it? You've had all the fish showing over your area. I've had nothing showing over mine. Obviously picked that one off this morning from that far margin, but yeah, a bit of a frustrating one because there's definitely fish down here in this area, and we've literally, as we were setting up the camera, just seen a couple of fish cruising just under the surface. But it's what, 2:15 now. It's supposed to start hammering down with rain from about 3 o'clock up until the middle of the night, so kind of got to set our stalls out now ready for the evening, I think, before it gets too late.
Feeling confident tonight anyway. Like I said, the fish have been showing every 20 minutes, so it's just a matter of time now.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I think we've just got to be patient, stick with our spots. There's definitely a few fish down here in this area. Sit tight, just see it out really, see out tonight into tomorrow morning, and yeah, if we're still in the same situation tomorrow, maybe sort of reassess the situation and see what we can think about changing going into the last 24 hours. But yeah, see what happens. Right, well, good morning. What a frustrating night and morning it has been. It's only now 10 to 8. Last night, absolutely hammered down from about 7 o'clock all the way up until half 10, 11. Half 11 last night, my left hand rod on that far margin where I had the fish from yesterday morning. Bobbin pulled up tight. As I've got out of the bivvy, bobbin's dropped back down near enough to the bottom. Picked it up, absolutely nothing on it whatsoever. No idea what's happened there, so obviously brought it in. put the rod back out. I couldn't get it right on the spot because I have been casting to the far margin, running around, clipping my rig on, and then spooning it underneath an overhanging tree on the far margin. So I couldn't do that in the middle of the night. Obviously, I can't leave my other rod out while I do it, and it was too dark. So that was a frustrating one. Put the rod back out, just fished just short of the reeds to the right hand side of it. Got up this morning, first light, 5 AM, reeled that rod in. It was just about light enough to see. Done the same process again, back round, bait and spoon underneath. Me and Russell stood here having a cup of tea at about 10 to 7 this morning, saying about, you know, this is bite time from yesterday, the sun's just hit that far margin, you know, maybe I'll get lucky again. And lo and behold, as we've been stood there, the bobbins just literally hit the floor, dropped right back, hit the floor, picked up, nothing, absolutely nothing on it whatsoever. So I have no idea whatsoever what's happened there. I've been going through it in my head, as you do, frustrating yourself. Hooks come back perfectly pinpoint sharp. I hand sharpened it yesterday. It was a fresh rig that went out. That's mega, that's perfect still, so nothing untoward there. The lead, I literally had the lead just clipped on to the last ring on the lead clip, only because the fish I had yesterday, it didn't drop the lead, but that was okay. It didn't come in no bother anyway. And that was still, the lead was still on, the lead hadn't come off for nothing. And normally with a lead clip, if you've had, well, I've found anyway, what you think's an aborted take, the ring on the lead will have slipped down the lead clip and be touching the rubber tail from where it's gone to eject it, but it hasn't done it. That was still sitting perfect as well. Yet again, hook, pinpoint sharp, not a dink on it at all. Again, so no idea what's happened there. So I've just been round, I've put the rod back out again. Sun's on that margin. If I'm lucky, I might get another shot this morning, but yeah, I don't really know what's happened there. Really frustrating. No action at all on the rod in the open water, so don't know what I'll do with that today. I have been baiting the near margin, just literally to my right hand side, the last couple of days we've been here, so I might just for the day try spooning a single hook bait down there, a little bit of crumb maybe, see if I can pick something off during the day from that margin and go from there. I don't know what I'll do tonight. I don't know whether it's worth, if nothing happens during the day, sticking the right hand rod in that far margin as well, but putting it underneath the tree to the right and seeing if, you know, they are tomorrow morning, if it is bite time around 7 o'clock again, potentially I've then got two chances on that far margin, but sort of two separate spots. So if I get a take or anything off one spot, it isn't going to spook the other. But like I say, it's only now nearly 8 o'clock, so we'll wait and see. I still think there's a good chance of a few fish, well, not let's say a few fish, but there's a good chance of a bite in the next couple of hours, because that sun is beating down now on that far margin. Wind's got up a bit today, clear sky at the minute, so hopefully the rain's going to hold off to this afternoon. But yeah, really frustrating one last night. I'm not too sure what I've done wrong there. Debated maybe shortening the rig, but I'm only using a 6-inch rig anyway because it's nice and clear over there, and maybe a heavier lead. But again, I'm using a 3-ounce lead, never had an issue with that before. Could up that. I know it's nice and clear and hard over there, so I could get away with 4 or 5, but yeah, for now I'm just going to sort of lick me wounds, question everything to get a bit more in my head, and just fingers crossed hope we get another chance this morning before what seems to be bite time really disappears. Fingers crossed. Right, well, good morning. Here we are, final morning, last few hours now, and sadly nothing to report again last night. Had a couple of liners on the right hand rod, decided to put that onto the far margin to a tree to the right of the tree where I'd been having sort of those actions and finicky bites, whatever it was, yesterday. Lo and behold, bang on just after 7 o'clock this morning, that right hand rod that I put over there had lifted up, not tight to the rod, but lifted up, dropped down, not all the way to the bottom, just a little bit, but I left it today. I just tightened it back up a touch, and nothing more has happened from it. So don't know, I don't quite know what's going on there. The only slight explanation I can think of when I've been thinking about it is I think there might be a fish or two maybe trailing a bit of line, and they're visiting the area, cruising up and down that margin under the trees at this time of the morning every morning, and that's potentially what's caused what was that line bite this morning, and potentially that savage one yesterday that I thought was an actual drop back. So who knows, don't know. One of life's mysteries, that one. But yeah, so sadly you're now what, 20 to 8, I've only got a couple of hours left now, so I'm going to have a slow pack away. So if you don't hear any more from me, sadly we are ending this on a one fish session. Is what it is, unfortunately. Definitely will be back though, because I'll tell you, if you've never heard of Clavering, you've never been here, it's a beautiful little lake, beautiful lake. And to be fair, the other lakes as well, I had a quick walk around yesterday, they're cracking as well, and the work the guys have done on this Specimen lake to net it and get all the fish under 20 pound out and keep it to the bigger fish in here, and making the carp bait next door a bit more of a runs water, I think is a really good idea. By no means least is this a runs water. Speaking to a couple of other locals that fish here quite regularly, one guy, he's had 4 that's been down the other end. He's been here a day longer than us, but he says the best session he's ever had on here, so that tells you all you need to know really, and he fishes here regularly. But anyway, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and if I don't see you again, see you on the bank next time.